Welcome back to Ferocious Education, this is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about ITRM. If you would like to know what the next PR is coming up, including the PDUFA dates, watch it to the end. So let's jump right into this one. So Iterum Therapeutics, I covered this one multiple times before. The previous video is in the description below. Nonetheless, I'll give you a whole perspective for this company and what to expect. So to sum it up, they are a therapeutics company. We're working in that medical industry with zero revenue, so pre-revenue, but a very promising pipeline. And so we're going to take a quick look into what some of the next PRs. I want to also highlight the appointments of Beth P. Hecht to the board of directors and who she is and what kind of experience is she bringing on, including to what other board of directors they're going through with. So in that sense, we'll cover that in a bit, but right now I want to just give you a bit of perspective through the presentation. I covered this presentation previously and extensively. This is the long runway to capture value from 2010 to 2035 based on US, Europe, and Japan for Iterum Therapeutics, including the continuation of some patents that they do have pre-existing from 2010 and continuation to them all the way expiring post 2025. And some of the current PRs that we're expecting here, you're looking at Q2 2021, you have advisory committee and a potential FDA approval in the third quarter of 2021. Currently, we are in the second quarter of 2021. Now, another thing that we need to take a look at is financial overview. Cash and cash equivalents, they have around $8.6 million as of September 2020, but as of currently, right now, they do have around net cash proceeds of around $15.3 million that aren't included from October 27th, and financing of $74.3 million proceeds from February 2021, financing and proceeds. There's a lot cash, and they have enough cash to hold them all the way to 2023. So offerings, I wouldn't say they are likely or unlikely, but well, in that sense, they don't need to have offerings for them to stay afloat, but sometimes companies like these ones still go ahead and benefit out of a price action movement. So we have a little bit of what the next PR is going to be. Now let's take a look into who Beth P. Hecht is. And so I did a little bit of research and I found that Beth P. Hecht is actually a managing director and chief legal and administrative officer and a member of the investment committee for Iterum Therapeutics, a global private equity firm focused on biotechnology and pharmaceuticals industry with offices in the States, Switzerland, UK, Bermuda, US Virgin Islands. Beth is also a member of the board of directors of Neos Therapeutics, going the ticker NEOS, where she chairs the nominating and governance committee. She is a graduate of Amsting College and Harvard Law School and started her career as an attorney, specializing in intellectual property and corporate transactions. So they're specializing in IP, and I noticed that Iterum, yes, has an extensive IP or patent list, but this might actually be a bit substantial in going after select opportunities for patents and work on those and potentially selling them or selling the rights to other companies. And that is one thing that I do want to highlight here. Nonetheless, she has 13 companies in career. Of course, the industry she works in is biotech research and development, including therapeutics and molecular diagnostics, and you get to see the competencies. And the breakout here goes on as a small portion of this healthcare IPO companies and IPO companies. The rest is mainly therapeutics, including Iterum Therapeutics, going all the way from October 2012 to December 18th. Before there, November 13th from December 24th, from Durata Therapeutics, or 2, my bad, and Sun Products from March 2009 to October 2012 as different positions here. Now, January 2018, she has Xeric Pharmaceuticals, Neos Therapeutics from September 2015, and Iterum Therapeutics from March 2021. She graduated with a Bachelor's of History from Amherst College in 1985 and from Harvard Law School from 1988. And we did go ahead and dive a little bit deeper to see how much equities she has, as well as her net worth. So the public assets is $1.1 million. She's 56 years old. And then also we're looking into equities, having a stake on 0.43% in Xeric Pharmaceuticals. In Neos Pharmaceuticals, no stakes there. Although that 1.148 is just merely coming on from Xeric Pharmaceuticals, so it's not her net worth. And I think that's as much as we can cover from that perspective. Neos, by the way, is a $57 million market cap company, so it is smaller than ITRM. Their statistics there is not available, but the difference here is that they do bring some revenue. So now we have a bit of an idea on ITRM, but we need to go ahead once before going on towards technical analysis and institutional investors. We need to go ahead and take a look into some of their highlights of the last quarter. Now, before doing so, if you'd like to see more materials like this one here and see more videos such as this one, don't feel scared to drop the subscribe button, join us into this community, and if you would like, on the Discord server in the description below. The invite is there and it's free. Now, some of the next highlights coming up and the recent highlights. So the highlights from recent events: the NDA accepted for priority review by FDA with PDUFA global date of July 25th, 2021. And in January 2021, the FDA accepted for review of our NDA for the UTI patients with acunolin non-susceptible organs, and then extended cash runway into the first half of 2023, and now it's collaboration with a third-party provider for commercialization services for Eversana. That as well has benefits to provide commercialization services to launch oral supplements if approved. And you also have upcoming things going on, including the presentations or investor presentations. Next one is on April 12th to 15th, and then the one after is May 18th to May 19th. So here we go, we cover a little bit of the highlights. Now on to institutional buyers. We don't see much going on. Morgan Stanley still has their positions. Some others as well are adding, such as Summit Securities Group, Virtue Capital, Cetera Investments Advisors, all adding somewhere closer to 110,000 shares combined. And you also have HR Financials adding around 10,000. So you get to see here and there. Citadel Advisors as well added somewhere, I would say, around 150,000 shares, etc. And so you see, it is still a bit bullish and more than bearish. Not a lot of people are actually liquidating. It's more off going inflow than outflow, and that's a good thing. Now we can move on towards the technical analysis. Now, on the technical analysis perspective, we're going to start with 1 week and 1 day, but just keep in mind that the market has dipped a little in this last week and it's been sliding sideways. So a lot of these things are going to look either bearish or accumulation, and I'm going to pinpoint only the most important things that stand out outside the comparison with the general market. So we see here that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, and that's a bullish thing. And you get to see here in this band, this is something called the trading action zone between the two. And this is between 167 and 141. Within there, you start expecting positive reversals to occur. And it's played on as well once, I think 2 weeks ago. It bounced right back. And so from an 80x perspective, we're looking like there might be actually a strong trend overall since the last time it dipped or bottomed out. And the willing percent R shows this one is oversold, so a correction would theoretically bring more buyers. And MACD here, you're taking a look into what is attempting a negative reversal or at least an accumulation part. We need to look into the 1 day perspective to understand better what's happening. Now, in terms of momentum, we're seeing here on the momentum, it is still above zero, so we're going to keep that as that and consider it somewhat bullish. Now, on the 1 day perspective, things are looking more of an accumulation part. The MACD gone negative, and it triggered this negative trend on the 19th of March, so earlier this week. But to be fair, the market has been really hurt this week for stocks like this one here, and penny stocks like these, that it is nothing out of the normal, so I'll ignore this one here on the 1 day and move on towards the moving averages. Now on the moving averages, this one is expected to trade on the extremes using the Bollinger Bands between 181 and 129. Now on the moving average band, you're looking at 170 in the top, 155 in the middle, and 139 in the bottom. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing that this one might slip a little bit further. We need to look into where the next supports are. And from here we go towards the Fibonacci retracements. We see a significant support lined on the 144, and it's currently right underneath there, so that becomes a resistance. And so the significant Fibonacci resistances are 144, 206, 255, 305, 375, and 465. And what we need to do here is go ahead with the price line action and start to see significant support levels in general. A very strong one sits at 135, and then below there you're looking at 123, below there you're looking at 112, below there you're looking at 96, and then going down to 88 cents, 79 cents, and then going down to 70 cents, going down to 60 cents, and down to 50 cents. Now, significant resistances are as follows. You're looking at somewhere at the 154 level, and then 167 level, and then from there you're looking at 189, and then going up to 215, and from 215 you're looking at 221, 296, and then we need to go just a tad further here. We missed the 220, 256, and then the 299 or $3, and then from there 344, and you see that there is room to grow 389 and forward 450. So there is quite of an extensive support and resistance levels. Well, actually more of both ways. I would say support and resistance. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one in terms of a long-term investment? In terms of a long-term investment, well, they're definitely in a better position than ever to go ahead with their pipeline, but you're almost betting that these things go through successfully. No one really knows with a lot of these pharmaceuticals. You have a lot of hope, but sometimes they fall through, and there's a lot of legislative process in between that really requires a lot of cash for the longer term. Now, if you're trading, yes, around Q3, you might see a jump somewhere around there for the FDA, a temporary jump, but the question is, where is the entry that will probably bottom out, and around then will probably break as well? You don't want to buy, let's say, at $6 and then the drops down tanks, and then Q3 2021 you get that PDUFA FDA approval and it goes to $5. So that's the thing. You need to a little bit understand where the dynamics of this one, and thus it's a little bit risky and tricky, but I do see this one's taking a bounce in the future. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.